All right, everyone. Today we're going to be working with Unit 11, and Unit 11 teaches us all about measurement. In the first three lessons of measurement, we're going to be talking about customary units. All right, what does the word convert mean? It says, I can convert customary units of length. The word convert means to change. So that means we can change from one unit to another. Okay, well, what is length? Length is the distance from one end of an object to another. So if I have a book and I want to know its length, I would measure it from one end to another, and that would tell me how long the book is. What about this word right here, customary? Customary units are something that is only used here in the United States. It's a system of measurement used in the United States, and for the first three lessons that we're going to do in Unit 11, we're only going to focus on the US customary system. Okay, what tool would I use to measure the length of an object? So if I wanted to measure that book that I talked about, what kind of a tool would I use? I would use a ruler. Here you see a ruler and it's got some numbers on this side and it's got numbers on that side. For the customary system, we're only going to be using these large numbers up here. You might also want to use a tape measure. Again, notice the big numbers, and also this is also a tape measure and it's got those big numbers. Those are the ones that we're going to focus on for this lesson today. This lady's holding a yardstick. And one way that you could think about it is that a yardstick is three rulers put together. That information is going to come in handy later on. Here in this chart, you can see the relationship between the different units of length. You don't have to memorize this. I'm going to give you access to this on a chart where you can look back on it. It's kind of like a little cheat sheet. You can use it, and if you learn to memorize it, that's fine too. But for now, we're just going to kind of look at it and use it whenever we need to. This chart is really great because it teaches us about that word change, that word convert that we talked about. It teaches us exactly how to change from one unit to another. If you pay close attention, you'll see that when I'm going from miles, which we know miles are pretty long, to yards, to feet, to inches, I'm going from a big unit to a smaller unit. Notice that my operation is multiplication. I'm multiplying. Just like when we had to multiply when we were going from one large place value to a smaller one, it's just the same thing. We're multiplying to go from big units to small units. And the relationships are right here. You don't have to memorize them right away. Now the opposite is true. If I want to go from a small unit to a bigger one, I have to do the opposite. The inverse of multiplication is division. The relationship is the same, but this time I'm going to divide to find out how to change that unit. All right, let's do a practice problem together. William has a piece of wire that measures 1 yard long. Here's a picture of the wire that he has. It says he will use the wire to fix several electrical outlets in his house. How many inches long is the wire? So we know how many yards it is. They want us to figure out how many inches it is. It's the same amount of electrical wire. He didn't buy more wire. He hasn't used any of it yet. I'm going to draw a bar diagram because that's what they asked for to help me solve this problem. We use bar diagrams when we learned all about fractions. So it looks just like a fraction tile. But instead of putting one hole in here, I'm going to write 1 yard. I take 1 yard, and let's look at my chart. What's the relationship between yards and inches? This one says feet and inches, yards and feet, yards and inches. Oh, right here it says that 1 yard equals 36 inches. Oh, well, that was easy. 1 yard is 36 inches. So I'm going to draw another diagram that shows the exact same space. Oh, I don't want to use the green. That shows the exact same space, but this time it's going to be for inches. Instead of calling it yards, I'm going to call it 36 inches. 1 yard equals 36 inches. Well, what about this little chart right here? Can it help me? Can it help me go from yards to inches? Yeah, I can. First, I've got to turn that 1 yard into feet. 1 times 3. So 1 times 3 is 3. So 1 yard is 3 feet. Oh, just like the lady who was holding the yardstick, that 1 yardstick was made of 3 rulers. A standard ruler is about 1 foot. So 3 feet is 1 yard. I went from yards to feet. Well, the question asked how many inches long is the wire. So I've got to turn my feet into inches. That's step 2. Turn the feet into inches by multiplying by 12. I'm going to take those 3 feet, multiply them by 12. 3 times 12, that's 36. 36 inches. Oh, that's the same answer that I got over here. Williams' 1 yard of wire is equal to 36 inches. And I've proved it 2 ways. All right, let's try another problem. Okay. In this problem, it says that some frogs can jump. It says that some frogs can jump 11 and 1/4 feet. What are some other ways to describe that distance? How many inches would that jump be? It's starting at 0 and it's jumping all the way to 11 and 1/4. How many inches is that? Here it says feet and inches and they highlighted it. I'm going from feet to inches. Well, let's use this chart. From feet to inches means I'm going this way from a bigger unit to a smaller unit. I have to multiply by 12. 11 and 1/4 was the total feet. 11 and 1/4 feet times 12 equals, I'm going to say I for inches. How do I multiply 11 and 1/4 times 12? Well, I know 11 and 1/4 can be broken up into the whole number part and the fraction part. Then I can multiply each of those parts by 12 to get my answer. All right, let me use 2 different colors so that I can really see my work really well. All right, so first I'm going to do 11 times the 12. That's the first part, the whole number by the 12. 11 times 12 is 132. And now I'm going to do the second part of my problem, which is 11 times, which is 1/4 times 12. So first I did 11 times 12. Now I'm going to do 1/4 times 12. 1/4 times 12. That's the same as 1/4 times 12 over 1. I remember that as 1 times 12, 4 times 1. 12 over 4 is the same as 12 divided by 4. That equals 3. 12 divided by 4 equals 3. 1/4 of 12 is 3. So now that I have my partial products, I can add both of those parts and get my final answer. I know that the 11 times 12 is 132 plus the 3 for the 1/4 of 12, and I get 135. 135 inches. Let me make an equation. 11 1/4 feet equals 135 inches. That wasn't so bad. I didn't even really need to use this chart. I think this chart helped me a lot more. So you can pick which one you want to use when you're solving a problem. All right. Now they want us to solve this problem again, but this time, instead of using 11 1/4 feet, they're just asking us to focus on the 11 feet. How many yards are in 11 feet? I'm going to change this and just scribble out that 1/4 and just focus on the 11. How many yards are in 11 feet? So let me use my chart again. I'm going from feet. I know the number of feet is 11, and I want to turn them into yards. So this time I'm doing the opposite. I'm going from a small unit to a bigger one. I know it sounds a little weird. You might think of multiplication, but look at our arrow. There are many, many feet inside of 1 yard. We're going to divide by 3. We're going to divide by 3. Okay, so 11 feet divided by 3. Well, I could use long division for that. I want to make sure that I show my work. I can show my workspace over here on the side. I can count by 3 until I get something close to 11. Well, 11 is right here. So that means there are 1, 2, 3, 3 whole groups of 3 whole yards in 11 feet. 3 groups of 3 yards in 11 feet. Well, there's going to be something left over. 11 take away 9 gives me 2. I started off with 11 feet and I ended up with 2 feet left over. Well, let's answer the question. How many yards are in 11 feet? There are 3 yards, 11 and 2 feet. There are 3 yards and 2 feet in 11 feet. Okay? So let's think about that. You could draw a bar model, and if you really wanted to take a look at this, you can go to page, in your Envisions book, you can go to page 640 and see this exact same problem. They break it down for you using both strategies, the bar model and the multiplication or dividing strategy like I did. Take a look at it. Once you finish this, then I want you to do in the Google Classroom lesson 11.1 problems. I think there are 6 problems. Make sure that you answer all of them by using the strategies. Take out a pencil and paper. Get your pen ready to write and show your work. Show all of your math work in a notebook. If you want to take pictures of those and upload them and send them to me, that's fine too. But don't try to figure them out in your head. Show your work, solve the problems, and don't forget to click submit so that your work can be graded. I hope that this really helped. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.